evening, everybody. This is Liz Cross from PsychicLizCross.com. Again, we are here with David Oates. How are you doing, David?
Oh, I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. I've just had the week off, actually. I've been absolutely marvelous. Well, I've been writing my latest book, but I had no clients, so that was very nice. So, yeah. So there you go. So yeah, no, things are going well. Yes, indeed.
I can't ever see you having a week off, ever. You're always so busy. Every time I turn around, you're pumping out the content in one way or another. So I don't believe you when you say you had a week off. You maybe slowed down a little bit.
Someone made a bet with one of my students because I said when I finished writing book one of the Digillion saga, I told everyone, look, I'm going to wait at least a month before I start book two. I'm exhausted. And someone made a bet. Our battery lasts a week before he starts book two. And guess how long it was before I started book two? A week.
You're so funny. Oh my gosh. What are you going to do for us today, David? I can't wait.
Well, okay, we're going to look at the JFK assassination, okay? And find out what really happened and who was really behind it. And some of my findings are, well, not some of them, all of them, quite shocking, actually. And so then we go straight to the arch villain of them all. Okay, this is J. Edgar Hoover.
And that the plastic cup goods were down, of course. The president had insisted upon that so that he could stand up and wave to the crowd.
So he's talking about how JFK wanted the top off the car so he could wave to the crowd, okay? And backwards he says, and I finance this evil.
Finance the evil. Finance the evil.
You hear that?
Finance the evil.
Wow.
And I finance... Oh, and actually, you know what? Oswald comes up talking about Hoover too. Now, let me find the Oswald reversal about Hoover. Where was it? Here we go. This is Lee Harvey Oswald on a radio show about 3 months before the assassination. Now, according to what I have found out about Oswald, let me tell you now. I was going to play reversal about it, but I'll tell you. According to what I found about Oswald was under the impression that he was working for the CIA. Okay, and he probably was. However, the CIA were using Oswald to set him up as a patsy without Oswald's knowledge. And he was investigating a possible assassination attempt against JFK. So that's what he was hired by the CIA to do. But it was all a set up. The CIA were playing him like a string. So anyway, so here he is 3 months prior to the assassination.
These peasants are uneducated. They have one of the lowest living standards in all of the Western Hemisphere.
And back, he's talking about Cuba. And backwards, he says, evil soul of Hoover.
Evil soul of Hoover.
Evil soul of Hoover. Evil soul of Hoover.
The evil soul of Hoover. Now, what is J. Edgar Hoover doing on Oswald's reversals? And here is another one. Listen to this one.
The fact that I did live for a time in the Soviet Union gives me excellent qualifications to repudiate charges that Cuba and the Fair Play for Cuba Committee is communist controlled.
And here he says, hear them, they wish to kill president.
Feed him to wish to be a president. Feed him to wish to be a president. Feed him to wish to be a president.
Do you hear that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was on to a legitimate assassination plot organized by J. Edgar Hoover to take out JFK. Okay, now how do I know he worked for the CIA? Well, because of this reversal here. Here's the forwards.
And are you a Marxist?
Well, I have studied Marxist philosophy, yes, sir, and also other philosophers.
Okay, now this is actually, you've got a strange tonality. It goes right up high. So it says, here to serve White House. So here to serve White House. That's how it sounds. So here we go.
Here to serve White House.
Here to serve White House.
And again,
Here to serve White House.
you got that?
Yeah.
So he believed that he was working for the United States government, okay, on behalf of the President of the United States. And he was sent in as a deliberate patsy to take the fall for an assassination plot that was far wider than just one single man, and also far wider than what the American public have ever been told. Just hang on. Okay. So let me. I've got so many on Oswald. Okay. Well, here he is. Here he is. Here he acknowledges that he was a patsy, and this is after his arrest in one of his very few press comments.
You people have been emphatically deny these charges.
So he was asked, "Did you fly that rifle?" He says, "No, I emphatically denies his charges." And it says, "See, I'm the give up."
See, I'm the give up. See, I'm the give up. See, I'm the give up.
I'm the give up, or I'm the patsy. I'm the one who has taken the fall. Okay. Now, when Jack Ruby, who shot Oswald and killed him, talks about the assassination towards the end of his life, and he says this forwards.
The ramp. I know it's the police squad car on the head of the ramp.
Okay, now this reversal puzzled me for many years, actually, until, well, I'll play the reversal and then I'll tell you what it means and how I came to its meaning. But this puzzle, I've had this reversal for, 15, 20 years in my computer, and it just puzzled me. Dark Ghost sealed this order.
Sealed the order. Sealed the order.
And again. Do you hear that? So
Yes.
for years, I wondered, well, who's the Dark Ghost? And the order, what was the order? Was the order to take out Oswald? Okay. Was he told to kill him before Oswald could actually talk and tell his story? Certainly, they would have never wanted Oswald to go to trial because that would have exposed everything. Okay. Anyway, but 3 years ago, I was reversing the current head of the CIA. And guess what he called the CIA? The Dark Ghost in reverse.
Oh my goodness.
He used the word several times. The Dark Ghost was the CIA. So the CIA issued the order to take out Oswald. And look at this plot gets, I've got about 300 reversals on this. I've got the whole assassination all nailed down. I'm surprised no one's ever asked me to do a radio show on it, actually. So,
Wow.
yeah. So, I've got so many. Well, what can I play? Let me play you.
Did you ever find out why the CIA wanted JFK assassinated?
Many reasons. Yes, I can tell you one huge big reason. JFA was threatening to shut the whole CIA down. I mean, he was livid over the Bay of Pigs because he went in there on CIA information, and of course he got it all wrong, and the United States had egg all over their face, and he publicly threatened to close the CIA. And what was the actual quote? "I'll crush them into 1,000 pieces" or something like that. So they had more than enough reason to take out JFK. Plus, JFK was shaking up the whole establishment. He was probably one of the best presidents America ever had. He was doing a Donald Trump, but in a diplomatic way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah, and he was just a huge threat to the whole establishment. I mean, gee whiz, where do I go? Here, let me play the real assassin. Let's play the real assassin, okay? Well, there was three of them. It was a triangulation. I've got reversals that show all of this. But this is the shooter behind the grassy knoll. Okay, now he is a mafia hitman named James Files, who I think he's dead now. Don't quote me on that. Well, I'd have to Google it. But he claimed in jail that he was the shooter behind the grassy knoll, and for a long time he had a fair bit of notoriety. Was interviewed by people about it, and the FBI checked in his claims that they discounted it. Yeah, well, we know why they discounted it, because J. Edgar Hoover was financed the whole thing on the orders of the CIA. But here's James File, and he's describing how he shot JFK in the head.
Did you ever notice if any of those rounds hit that sign?
No, I don't know if anybody else's did or not. As far as I know, their round never hit it. I know my round didn't hit it. Like I say, I fired one shot. I was on target.
Sign.
Okay, I fired one shot. I was on target. And backwards, he says, hit him with my round.
It ended my round.
So he's telling a true story. Okay.
Wow. And what's his name again? James
Files. JamesFiles. Now, he used to have a lot of videos up on YouTube, but I Googled them a while back and they weren't there anymore. So I don't know. Google him, look him up. I think he's dead now. I'm sure he is, but I just don't know. You'd have to do some research. But yeah. So there we go. Hey.
So I did a viewing on JFK not so long ago. I've actually come up with the same information that you're putting out this evening. I channeled, Oswald. I channeled Jack Ruby. I channeled JFK. I viewed some people that were still involved in it now. I grouped the CIA as an entity. It's the same information. The only thing that I didn't come up with is that James Files, but we are absolutely spot on together, as in we're coming to the same conclusions. So you're using reverse speech and I'm using my psychic medium experience, and we're getting the same.
Yeah, well, there you go. So I actually do have a website up about it. I think it's called JFKAssassinationssolved.com. Let me just Google that really quick. I can't remember now. JFKAssassinationssolved.com. The site's up. I did a 5-hour radio show with Jeff Rentz and the late Jim Mars, and that whole show is up there. With all the reversals. So you can go to, here's a quote about Kennedy's. Kennedy's threatened to shatter the CIA into 1,000 pieces, as well as to dismantle the vast military industrial complex. So there you go. I actually quoted here. Let me read the whole paragraph. Kennedy was upsetting the status quo. The changes he was proposing and the people he was upsetting are too numerous to mention. There were many reasons for wanting Kennedy out of office, including, but not limited to, Bobby Kennedy's aggressive prosecutions and investigation into the mob. There was also Kennedy's threat to shatter the CIA into 1,000 pieces, as well as his desire to dismantle the vast industrial complex. So 2 days after Kennedy died, the new president, Lyndon Baines Johnson, declared that he would not lose Vietnam. Anyway, and so it goes on. Go to the page, JFKAssassinationssolved.com. And there you go. So.
Wow. Well, thank you. Is there anything else you would like to add to that?
Oh, no, I think that sums it up. We've been going for half an hour, I think. So there we go.
Yeah. Now, how long does it take you to do reversals, just in general? Like, how many reversals do you get? How long does it take?
Well, it depends on the tape. Some, especially when dealing with media, because some will have none and some will have lots. You know, session work is pretty constant. It takes me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to analyze a 30-minute tape. But media is a different kettle of fish altogether, because sometimes you can spend all night and find nothing, which can be very frustrating. The JFK research took me probably about at least 6 months, probably close to a year. I did it back in 2016. So, well, I'd already done some previously, the years before, but I really did it intensely in 2016, and it took me about a year. It was one of my research projects. As you know, I do a research project every year, and that was a year I did JFK.
Yeah, that's awesome. But it is time consuming. I mean, for you, it's very quick, I should imagine, because you've been doing it for so long. What I did, somebody did say to me once that they were trying to, and I can't remember if I told you this, stock market predictions. So there would be 3 of them discussing a stock for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and then they would try to reverse it to see if they could get a good, a good insight to if the stock price will go up or down. But I think, 10 or 15 minutes wasn't long enough.
Look, I've tried that and I've really had no success. You'd have to be someone you'd have to have someone on tape who's very knowledgeable of the stock market and of the stock you were wanting to invest. But you're not going to get it by just sitting around in a group talking. You've got to find a company director or someone. That's why you'd find out. I no doubt it would work. You just have to be reversing the right people to get the answer.
Oh, okay. So you would really need an expert talking about this stock.
Yeah, you would.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that would be the same for cryptos as well, because
absolutely, absolutely. And unless you know what you're doing, reverse speech is not going to give the answers. I can tell you that right now, because I've tried. I've had clients who have tried. It's never worked. So don't waste your time. Sorry.
No, I understand. I mean, it's just, I find that reverse speech is another way to gain insider information into topics. And I think it's very fascinating. And I think people should pursue it.
I totally wish they would. I totally wish I'd get more people signing up for my training courses. Anyway, there you go.
Yeah, I understand. So if they want to sign up, where do they go?
Go to my website, reversespeech.com, and click onto the training tab. There you go. Or email, or even better still, email me backwards@reversespeech.com. Okay.
I like that email address, backwards@reversespeech.com.
I've had that email address since 1995.
Oh my God. I just appreciate your work, David. So thank you so much for your time and your dedication and your enlightenment. Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.